Hi, Creative Writing. It's Tuesday, April 14th, 2020. And yesterday you did your lesson on characterization, which is one of the building blocks of solid writing. Today we are moving on to details. First, I'm going to introduce your assignment that's going to be due by Thursday of this week. Then I will go over the very short lesson on details, and then you will have a writing prompt. All right, so this is your assignment. You've written quite a bit of journal entries over the past week and a half. Maybe some of them were really fun for you. Maybe some of them were short because you just couldn't get, your creative juices rolling or whatever. The good news is I just need one revised prompt from you. So you'll be submitting one revised prompt from the last 1.5 weeks of writing for feedback from me. This is going into the gradebook. Please make sure that the revised prompt that you choose is typed and revised for grammar and mechanics and things like that. In terms of length, I'm not expecting this to be very long. I would say the majority of prompts that I get from students are about 3/4 to a full page of writing double spaced. So if you're turning in single spaced work, maybe a half page. If it's longer than that, great. If it's shorter than that, just make sure it feels really complete and there's lots of detail in it, that it's not something you rushed through in 5 minutes. It should feel like you spend some time on it, okay? So it should be typed of reasonable length and submitted to Google Classroom under the classwork tab by Thursday at midnight. And I'll be giving you feedback on your writing for the first time, which will be really fun. Okay. This exercise is an optional exercise, although I think it's a really good time. So if you'd like to do it, feel free. It's just a writing assignment. The exercise is this. For the next 5 minutes, I want you to write about being in love. Maybe you have been in love before, maybe you haven't been in love before. It doesn't matter. I just want you to write about being in love, whatever comes into your head. All right, so pause this video and do that exercise in your journal if you would like for the next 5 minutes. Okay. Next, I have this really, really cool deaf poetry jam by Shihan. I think there's a curse word in it, just so you know. I'm not going to play this video, but I want you to take the time to watch this video. It is so good. He does spoken poetry on being in love and all the like nitty gritty details of what that is. And it's just, oh, it'll bring you so much joy. So I want you to look at what you wrote about on being in love, okay, and how much detail you put into it compared to what he does. This isn't to make you feel like you're not as talented. He does this, like this is his thing, but to show you what you could be capable of and what sort of details you can include, because details are the lifeblood of good writing. So, write in the physical world, not the emotional one. Let what is real and material do the emotional work. The 5 senses are your friends. I think the most common phrase that you are going to hear in any creative writing class is going to be this: show, don't tell. You should never be writing in your story and say, Claire was happy. Claire was in love with Phil. She loved him so much. All right. You're just talking to your reader. It feels like a lecture. It feels like you're just spewing off information, and that's not what what readers want to experience. They want to be given all the different visuals of the 5 senses to understand what a character is feeling or what their truth is. It all happens through details. I'm going to give you examples of that today. All right. So you want to move from the general and abstract, like she was sad, to very specific detailed writing. She sat in her favorite rocking chair in her room, knitting a gray scarf and weeping into the unfinished woolen stitches. All right, that is sad. It's a gray scarf. It's not colorful. She's weeping. All right, she's doing this quiet activity in her room by herself. That's sad. Okay, that's so much more interesting. My father hated noise. Right? Or The neighbors became accustomed to my father throwing open the windows of our living room and dumping a bucket of cold water on neighborhood children who were playing too loudly near the front porch. That's an amazing visual, hysterical. And we now know from this that the father hates noise, but we're not being told, we're being shown. He had a drinking problem. 3 times a week, she opened a bottle of white wine, not even chilled. Let's see, let's scroll this over. There we go. Oops, I can do this. There we go. 3 times a week, she opened a bottle of white wine, not even chilled, and drank it from a coffee cup until it was dry. She brought the coffee cup into the bathroom and would continue sipping even as she brushed her teeth. So the details that we're getting out of this is that she's drinking wine that's supposed to be chilled and she doesn't even care because she just wants the wine. She's drinking it out of a coffee cup, right? Maybe because she wants to hide it, maybe because she just doesn't care. And she brings the cup into the bathroom and brushes her teeth. And we all know that feeling of brushing your teeth and then drinking something and it tastes like crap. She doesn't care. She just wants the alcohol. Okay. So we know she has a drinking problem from these details. So don't tell the reader what the truth is. Let them experience it for themselves. Show, don't tell. It is the hallmark of creative writing. It is the thing that I'm going to probably write the most on people's writing. I want details. Sometimes you're just going to say things straight out. Okay, maybe it's exposition. Maybe it's you're using a character and their dialogue to do it. I don't know. Sometimes you're just going to say things and it's going to be direct. But we readers love for you to trust them and to make them feel like they can interpret things on their own. So you also want to make sure that you avoid cliches. This is a really, really long list of cliches. They are cliches because they're overused. Overused phrases, okay? Things like quick as lightning, perfect storm, black as coal, boys will be boys, voice of an angel. It's not interesting. It's a cliche. So try to avoid those when you're talking about details. All right, here's your writing prompt. This is a journal entry. I encourage you to maybe just write on this for 5 minutes or so since you have the revised prompt, which is due on Thursday. So use your time how you want. But this is a really fun prompt. I want you to think about the character that you started developing yesterday using the questions from the packet. And I want you to be as detailed as possible and list out all the things that can be found in their pockets, purse, or backpack. You get to choose. What are they carrying around? Make sure there's at least one surprising but convincing item that is found. Note, no cliches like guns, drugs, or condoms or something like that. All right. I want the item that they find to be really intriguing that gets your reader to be like, why are they carrying that around? Okay. If it's a gun or something, we're like, oh, we can probably predict why. So make sure it's really interesting. For example, this is a character. Here's everything that they're carrying around. Walgreens brand naturally neutral lipstick half gone. Solar calculator. Mini screwdriver. Phillips head on one end, slotted edged on the other. Crumpled shopping list containing the words eggs, non-fat milk, and super glue. 3 ATM slips, each showing $20 cash withdrawals 3 consecutive days. A roll of Tums. And a fortune from a fortune cookie that reads, keep those dangerous plans secret for now. Who would be carrying these items around in their pocket? Who uses naturally neutral lipstick and a screwdriver and is doing $20 withdrawals a day? And then most importantly, that fortune cookie. Why would they keep that in their pocket? What are the dangerous plans that they are keeping secret? So I want you to do that with your character, whoever they are. Should be fun, 5 minutes. And then again, make sure you're working on that revised prompt and putting that in classroom when you're ready. Okay, I think that is it for today's lesson. If you have questions, send me an email or jump into my office hours using the link on Classroom. Don't forget that I also have private office hours by appointment if you'd like to sign up for one of those sessions. And that link to sign up is also on Google Classroom. That's it. Bye, guys.